jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Man, that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
Once again, you're tuned in to World Combat Sports. Salute everyone. Appreciate you pulling up. And we're going to get down to it. Yes, sir, indeed. If you're in the building, do me a favor and hit the like button. Show your support for the channel. It's much appreciated. You know that. And also, telling a friend who knows a friend is also good. So if you have an opportunity to make that happen, let me know. You know what I'm saying? Show it in your action, man. Just show it in your action. Support the channel and continue to understand what you're seeing is absolutely real. You know what I'm saying? At my age, my motivation and what I try to contribute to the sport of boxing is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in competition with nobody, but in this world right here, sometimes it's better for you to speak up a little bit, before you speak out. People that's been living, long enough should understand what that means. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can speak up with certain situations that you speak out. I'm just speaking up right now. The situation is still on, it's just people this keep on, talking about the same shit that's not true, man. When you have someone that's the instigator, man, I'm just amazed at how many people that's willing to put their themselves into the guillotine. They know the shit is shady. They know the people lying, but your actions is everything. Person's action is everything. And this day and time, we have a lot of people who tell one another. They talk to one another all the time. You know what I'm saying? They talk to one another all the time. It's called chatting, gossiping, or whatever the case may be. It's been a lot of chit chat about a situation that was blown out of proportion, not because of me, but dealing with the Michael Williams Jr. situation, John Bowser. I was in another conversation with this person that was saying that, I was taking pictures and inappropriate of the team. I was trying to spy on the team, John Bowser's team. I'm telling that person, you way off. You obviously don't, follow me enough or follow me when I actually was out there in the trenches, doing this shit still by myself, doing video and photography. Now, they was sitting up here, not just one. It was many of them out where, you disrespect them because you was trying to spy for, you say you media, but really you this, that, and the other. You know what they like to say about people. Why you doing dirt? Your boy still got his ass whooping, all this other shit, right? So I'm saying to myself, like, damn, I don't think it's important right now, so I'm just gonna let the shit slide. And then, all the lies just keep coming up. You know what I'm saying? And then I had somebody ask me about paying a debt. A debt. Listen, this is the reality of it. If two men have business together, why should it even bleed out to another human being that's not associated, with the numerator and denominator. If you're not associated from the problem to begin with, why are you trying to be a part of something? Why should, when I pay back somebody, be any question? And then, when you put it out there online, like I say, when it happened, I say, yeah, that was some whole ass shit right there. You know what I'm saying? Because people have your phone number and they don't call. But I'm about to set some shit straight with the people that's up that line, because we got a nice little bet going. You know what I'm saying? We got a nice little bet going for a nice bit of money, because I sit up here and let the person walk themselves into the motherfucking web. I said, listen, I've been several places. I knew John Bowser before Michael Williams Jr. was fighting him. He was like, hell no, you didn't. You lying. Now you capping and all this other shit. I say, look, I've covered him before. And this is what they said. We don't see no pictures up. We don't see nothing. So these people seem like they was going around checking to see where they can find this shit at. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, how, if you want a part of World Combat Sports Facebook group, or a friend of mine, or every picture that I take at the contest, I post them on my Facebook most of the time, but I won't really post up every fighter because it takes time to go through the pictures on IG. You know what I'm saying? I won't post up every one of them. But yeah, we have a hefty back going on. I just want to let people know, like, I want to give you the 10-point guide on snakes over here in the YTC, man. It's too much. It's almost like, going to a place where you see shit moving, and then you're like, oh, let me just take a long way around. I already know what's going on here. Motherfuckers just be spawning. Snakes be that goddamn mating, multiplying. That's the rally point. Always keep the grass cut. Mentally, keep your landscape low enough so you can pretty much understand how a person is acting that brings questions to you, how they're performing, because people who are snakes will always perform. Body language is everything in life. Listening to someone, looking at someone will tell you a lot about what they are. So let them perform. You know what I'm saying? Let them behave, and you can figure out just as much as you want. You know what I'm saying? Just keep your a clean vision on your landscape, on where you at right, in life, and you will see them scurry on up and be up to no good. For real. But this situation was, in my opinion, was uncalled for in a lot of ways, because I get some of the same people from a group that I'm asking myself, where's the commandant? Where's the head? Where's the order in this? Because one person that I totally understand is not going to get bullied and just sit back and say, no, that's me. You know what I'm saying? So what are we doing? Boxing? Or we going around here, acting like we was raised in the jungle? We was acting like that somebody said, this was a state of unrest and the purge has begun. Nobody said that. But the stuff that goes on behind the scene is YouTube shit. I can say it needs to stop, but it won't, because you have too many immature individuals with too much freedom on their hand. You know what I'm saying? That's a step number 3. Like the freedom, you have to understand the freedom of the YTC. There's a lot of people that shouldn't be allowed to have their own platform, and they should come in the live chat, with some type of other restriction to limit someone's, if you want somebody to come into the live chat, but they can't chat for like 10 or 15 minutes, you should be able to set that. You know what I'm saying? You should be able to have that micromanagement over that shit. So, don't let it get to you, because it's just individuals just having fun. This is their group, their support group, and they're out here just doing, what they see is cool. They have family that they'll never meet in their life. So they're able to go communicate and talk and so forth. Let me get to the live chat right quick. Jay Ocho on deck. What's good? Great interview, bro. But if I can't say that he ain't did nothing for me. Look, I'm gonna tell you, Jay Ocho, I don't just, roll over just because somebody else has seen or said something about someone. I have to assess for myself. I have to think for myself. I have to process it myself. God blessed me with the ability to think for myself with my own single command headquarters, which is my brain. Then therefore I must put a thought process over there, allow it to breach the synapses gap, and neurologically go through the whole process of my recall memory and my mid part of my brain and everything, and process and come up with a decision. You know what I'm saying? I come up with a decision on whether it's right or wrong. Everybody's process of elimination is different. I just say I need to see more. So I did my research and I just couldn't find that. But that's your opinion, bro. You know what I'm saying? But appreciate you pulling up though. King Mitch on that. Come back, what up? Andrew Charles Jack was good. So let me get back to the snake deal. So this whole deal with Team Williams, people's up here, saying I was capping for the team and everything, and I was trying to spy on John Bowser. And I said, I'm not even like in boxing like that to having to spy on anybody. What am I spying on? You know what I'm saying? But I told them, I said, that wasn't the first time I knew of Bowser, and they calling me a liar up and down. So of course, I had to go to I said, hey, let's make it worth our while. You know what I'm saying? I'm waiting for the person to come on here. But people say they're gonna come on here and they won't, they won't. They just want you to say their name so they can sit back and laugh. To my he definitely didn't think I was coming on there though. But as I said, come on in so I can go over these things with you. Drop the tickets that I have. I want to drop these tickets. You know what I'm saying? I want to drop the stub to let you know that I be out there. And they pretty much saying that I ain't never met the dude in my life. I didn't know his pops. I was spying on him in the Stewart Hotel and all this other shit. I said, bro, that's not what I do. I don't have time for that. And when I'm on the move, I'm on the move. Nobody else is going to tell you some bullshit. And this was all bloviated off of a single person on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? We already know who that is, but that's just something that I already knew. Like, you know what I'm saying? I knew. But then, the when they get people involved and get organizational members and everybody want to, join in like it's motherfucking back in the day when you all on the motherfucking schoolyard or something kicking rocks and empty and Pepsi cans and shit. You know what I'm saying? Digging in your nose, wiping it on the playground and shit. I'm like, why are so many people trying to tag team? We're not having no damn, hide and go seek going on. What the fuck are we doing on YouTube, man? So I told this person, let's bet this, and I'll prove to you that I knew him already. I wasn't spying. There's plenty of teams I take pictures of. Man, I got so many boxes I took pictures of. So, I know he ain't gonna show up. So let me go ahead and rock the boat on this. All right. Check this out, people. I'm gonna go ahead and rock the boat on this. So y'all can know I'm not bullshitting about this. And y'all can pretty much tell those individuals that's worried about my business to stop hating, because I know it's a lot of people out here that don't respect the catalog that I got. But the one person who does, because I put in the work, is me. Me. I put in the work. I respect what I did because it was hard ass work, using photography and videography. So I just went out there and did what I had to do. You know what I'm saying? Got used to what I needed to do. It's all good. So let's get to the receipts, people. I know that's what y'all want to do. Let's get to the tickets. I call them the ticket stubs. Let's get to the ticket stubs, okay? Let's get to the ticket stubs. We can nip this in the bud right now of those individuals that's saying is hate, and I was spying and stuff like that. I'm going above media, responsibilities. I say, nah, that's far from the truth. It was nothing to spy on. It was nothing to spy on, for real. It was absolutely nothing to spy on. But here we go. Here we go. Just make sure you tell them to hit the replay. This is John Bowser and Michael Williams Jr., right? This is what all the backstabbing, I already had cuts in my back anyway from this individual for no reason. I ain't have a clue what it was about to begin with. But this is John Bowser and Michael Williams Jr. at the weigh-in. Okay? You know what I'm saying? That's them at the weigh-in. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the person told me that I was trying to spy on the team. And I said, that wasn't the case. I already knew John Bowser. He said, no, you didn't. You was up there trying to do more than what you're supposed to, trying to help out because y'all didn't think you would win. I said, I mean, what are we talking about here? CSI? What the fuck? So you got to get receipts. And this is to his pops, too. John Bowser's pops. You know what I'm saying? This is to him too, because he was the one that was shaking my hand and saying it was all good, it's okay, brother, and all that. Then he get back and jump on Facebook and start talking shit. So this is to prove to him how official I am. Okay, so this is the weigh-in for John Bowser and Michael Williams Jr. It just happened last year, right? Right? Look at this shit right here. This is my other picture. When John Bowser, and I have the raw files. This is my shit. It's not Top Rank shit, because Top Rank shit is freaking censored. If you're there for photography and extra, media, that's what you do. You shoot from a different side angle. You really never centered like the Top Rank guys are. So this is John Bowser facing who? Angel Serenana Rodriguez. When you say? He fought Angel Rodriguez. This was July 2019. I was at the fight. Now, here's another ticket for you. This is the way his pops look just last year. All mad and angry, saying I was spying on him and stuff like that. This is my picture. This is my shit. Raw files and everything. I want my motherfucking money. Boom. Look at this shit right here. Hello. No need for me to sit up here on the work that I know that I put out. You say I didn't know him. This is the same week. This was out at the Prudential Center. This was the same week. You won't find this out anywhere else. That is bad. Do he not have a smile? Look, did John Bowser father not know who I was? He knew. Look at the smile. No. You think that's the only picture? Boom. Got another one for you. We was all in the lobby chit chat. I got so many of these pictures. We was all in the lobby talking it out, man. Look at the chain on his neck. Look at the chain. All right. This is not what they had on in NYC. Look at the chain now. And look at the chain. Same people. Okay. Once again, that's one of the pictures of John Bowser facing Angel Rodriguez. This person said I didn't shoot the fight. I didn't know Bowser. But that's pictures that I had of Bowser for forever and a day. So from 2019 to 2021, you don't know who I am. All right, cool. But hey, you know who you are. I want my money. And we already done talked to an equal person. I know I'm gonna get my money, but you need to pass the word that it's a lot of stuff I have on my hard drive that I've been. This was at the Prudential Center. Shakur Stevenson was on that card. Josue Vargas was on that card. Joshua Greer Jr. was on that card. John Bowser was on that card. And guess what? I was there when Vito Melnicki made his pro debut. Oh, it's Cap, right? Who was that right there then? Who is that right there? Raw foul. That's Vito Melnicki going in there against Tamarcus Smith. His debut. My whole thing is, why should it be that serious if you're not really contributing to somebody's channel? If you're not really supporting their channel, it shouldn't even be that serious. Man, I got so much footage, boxing footage on my shit. I can go archive stuff forever and a day. Look at this shit, man. This is the weigh-in. 2 different weigh-ins. Team last year, team when I rolled up there in 2019. Look like a smile on everybody's face, don't it? Look at this right here. That's when someone is influenced by a snake. They got the wrong information and they put it out there and it's all wrong, man. You know what I'm saying? It just goes against the grain of everything what certain people stand for. John Bowser's dad was all cool when I was out there last time, but this time somehow it's different, and people want to say I was spying. How? I already covered them. I already have pictures of John Bowser in the ring when they was in when they fought in Prudential Center. When the mayor came out and Shakur Stevenson, Joshua Greer was all out there. Nathaniel Gallimore was all out there at the Boylan Street Recreational Center when the mayor came out there. Yeah, they don't tell you that, right? It's just all about this YouTube shit when people sit up here and sit behind the mic and they want to just talk about shit that they believe is relevant. They'll tell you clout chasing, but unbeknownst to you, they feel that you have more clout than you actually give yourself for. That's what I'm getting. Like, I don't really pay attention to stuff like that. But if you keep on name dropping someone in the title of a video and you're lying, it'll fade out. It's okay. That's the way I look at it. It'll fade out. But I just dropped the receipts right here that I already knew them. All right. I already knew Bowser at. I was there when Vito Melnicki fought his first professional boxing match, dog. You know what I'm saying? Man, that card was pretty decent. But all the receipts are here. Without snake influence, with snake influence, without snake influence. Period. I shot the fight. I have plenty of dang, what I call money shots of him fighting that guy. Rodriguez. Vito Melnicki. Small, frail Vito Melnicki making his debut at 47. Making his pro debut. Just want to let you know I'll be out here on the slab too. I'll be on the grind too. For real. This YouTube shit is just a part of what I do. I don't have no disrespect to nobody else except, some people act outside of what YouTube should be used for. You got too much gossiping going on in this shit right here. And people just want to get together and lie on somebody. And then when they see them in the live chat, they just got, so many things to say that they haven't even really had a conversation with you to begin with. They just listen to everybody else. It's just rapid stupidity, boy. For real. It's rapid stupidity. But those are my receipts right there. Period. Nothing else I got to say on it. Nothing else I got to say on it. Thank you for giving up that nice stack of money that's gonna serve pretty well. I'll tell you. If I tell you I got something in the bank on the hard drive that I've been there, I'm not just capping. You know what I'm saying? I have photo shit of a lot of boxers when they just started out. A lot of them when they just started out. I have a picture of Jerry Anderson, and he hadn't fought his first pro fight yet. He hadn't fought his first pro fight, yo. Somebody tell me if you've seen this around. Look, look, check this out. I'm about to give a giveaway. I'm about to do a giveaway right here to the ones in the chat. I'm about to do a giveaway. Let me remove some of these right quick. But you know what it is, man. I'm not gonna take too much time improving what I knew already about that. I know you're sitting there butthurt right now and say, damn, he actually did shoot them before. Exactly. It wasn't that new to me who they were. I didn't have no reason to spy on them. Okay. I want somebody to guess. The first person to guess, I'm gonna give you 60. I'm gonna give you 60 seconds, god damn it. For somebody to tell me the picture I'm about to put up here. That's my footage, right? It's my footage. But tell me who it belongs to. All right. The first person to drop who it belongs to, I'll send you a $20 cash app. And then if nobody don't guess it, then we'll make it interesting or whatever. Boom. Y'all ready? This should be easy because it's only 4 that seem like they tuned in. Tell me who that belonged to. I'm going for 60 seconds. 60 seconds, shawty. Pop a lot. What's good? Drop it in the live chat. Who does that belong to? You know, you ain't gonna find it nowhere. You ain't gonna find it out there. Come on now. Drop your super chat. $30. $30. Somebody tell me who that belonged to. I'm talking about somebody who I know is in the live chat. It's about to count down. It's about to count down. Nobody? I know it just looks like you just glancing at it, you think it's all goofy and everything. No, it really has a lot of story in this right here. Seriously, that shit right there, y'all. I'm gonna tell you, that's one of the biggest jewels that you will see. Because unless you go to the fight and kind of get an idea of this, that, and the other and talk to the person about it, you'll never know. But that shit right here, that picture right there, it has a lot that it's telling right here. It has a lot. If you look, that picture says a lot about PBC. It says a lot. Real talk. So nobody can guess it. Okay, I'll come back another day. I give y'all time to do a little homework and see if y'all can figure it out at a different date. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave it alone. But yeah. Hey, and second of all, right? Second of all, you know, I have people, you know, just trying to act like we are forming up again on the bridges for a protest. I've been black enough all my life, right? So if I do an interview with Rick Glaser, you know, that's something I can do on my own. I really don't care what anybody have to say about it. See, I'm not the sheep. I just don't follow everybody that want to follow, you know, people because they feel it's popular on here. Look, YouTube isn't bringing families together. YouTube isn't making individuals wealthy. They pretty much broke that structure down so you can never be wealthy off here. You'll be working for 20 years straight, sitting down in front of a microphone, coming up and creating content just so you can get some super chats. Super chats where YouTube take their percentage and then it's taxed and you get the crumbs. But back to what I was saying. Why should you be concerned about anybody I interview? If you don't even support the channel, then first of all, that's one. You know what I'm saying? If you have so much negative stuff and you really think I give a damn about the viewership, every time I jump on here, I'm talking because I love it. It's my passion. But people, I've heard men that got, families and shit. They say, "Oh, I get more views than he do." I'm like, damn, they actually believe in this shit. Like they actually believe that validates. Like that has nothing to do with my DD 214 from the military. That has nothing to do with all the benefits I get outside the military. This YouTube shit has nothing to do with that, yo. YouTube has nothing to do with telling you to get up in the morning and go to work. Nothing. Unless you're willing to go out here and turn yourself into a gimmick and go all out at 30 some years old being a freaking clown, then go right ahead and see how it works. Maybe you can go viral for the right reasons. You know what I'm saying? But I shouldn't be receiving all this contentiousness because of who I interviewed. Now all of a sudden we got members on here that are black that sit up here and say some pretty derogatory ups, and they vocalize obscenities towards you, right? But you're black, you're the same shade they are, but yet they worried about me supposedly interviewing a person that they say is racist. But yet I'm asking people over and over again to present tweets, to present emails, IG posts, Facebook posts, anything to validate me having a starting point to justify why you mad at this person. No one was ever able to do it. So me, I'm looking at it like this. Once again, grab the tea. We got a bunch of crybabies in the room. That person probably offended their favorite fighter, and they still holding a grudge and shit up here pouting, motherfucking biting their nails off. You know what I'm saying? Because now social media is seeing a fluctuation in Rick Glazer. But this is the way I look at it. I learned a long time ago, right, that even if it's a person you sometimes it's good to not just totally cut them off, because then sometimes you won't be prepared for the element of surprise. That's if they present one to you. So it's always good to listen to both sides in a reasonable state. You know what I'm saying? It was no reason why I shouldn't have, listen to him. The guy's a good ass when it comes to conversation, asking about a lot of topics, especially when it comes to boxing. This is how I play fair with it. I know it's a lot of scandalous, grimy, mischievous malefactors that's in boxing. It's been like that forever and a day. When Rick started associating himself to the sport, he had a talent to do something right to get what he's gotten, right? But you just can't jump on all the wagons that's going around here hooting and hollering, saying, "Oh, he said this about this fighter." I said, "God damn, that's it." So I need something solid. Just give me a screenshot. Just give me one. No screenshots. And then, I suppose to disrespect. I just wasn't cut from this cloth. I was raised fine, when it comes to understanding certain things that's gonna be different for me as a black man. Yeah, I was taught what I was taught, and I experienced what I experienced, right? But peep this out though. I look at it like you have to have a conversation, and you have to allow somebody actions to kind of give you the vibe to kind of become a decision maker, right? To make those choices. When he sat over there in Fred's barbershops for like 3 hours, over 3 hours, what racist does that? And then he knew he had people that was going to call in with the venom. He never, but what I seen was when he did answer, they was very concise, straight to the point. And I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of people that he addressed, he shut them down. Like when it came down for stealing money, Bob Arum was ripping off Floyd Mayweather, shut him down. When the guy was trying to imply that racism was in boxing, then he tried to bring up Jack Johnson. He said, "Come on, 100 years, come on now." You know what I'm saying? He shut it down. The shit about Lomachenko, You know, on the franchise belt and the stuff that with Haney with his belt. That's very educational piece right there. The reason why I say it's an educational piece because on YouTube they use the same psalm and hymn. They turn to the same song and they sing that shit over and over again, man. That someone was in the mandatory slot position, this and that, and he went up here and got. I always told y'all it did not work that way. Mauricio Suleiman, main culprit behind that, and he orchestrated the way he see fit. He didn't give a damn what nobody was thinking. So that's what he did. He made the announcement that Vasyl Lomachenko wasn't going to fight the rest of that year. And pretty much, what he was saying, okay, he agreed with. What else is going behind the scene was them deriving a plan for the franchise belt. Now, the franchise belt was already in existence with boxing from being presented to Canelo. He was the initial recipient to start this franchise belt. He absolutely avoided facing the Charlo. You know what I'm saying? Period. So then you take it down to the 135-pound division where it just grew out of control. Like the energy and the fuel, you know what I'm saying, on how that shit grew was amazing. Vasyl Lomachenko, he defeats Luke Campbell, he becomes franchise champion. Who's the influencer of that? None other than Mauricio Suleiman and the camp of Vasyl Lomachenko. And we all know what happened. He went on to fight, Teofimo Lopez. Boom. Teo becomes the first. Listen to the knowledge. Teofimo becomes the first franchise champion to win the belt from a champion. Because initially the language was quite opposite. You know what I'm saying? Mauricio Suleiman was saying it was non-transferable. If the champion lost, no way the belt would be transferable at the point of defeat. So people was asking, like, then how is it? What is its purpose in boxing? Why is it relevant if someone can have it and no one else can get it? How does that work? And then he started going this, and this. Let's come full circle. Teofimo Lopez petitioned for the franchise belt, defeated Lomachenko, right? And became the champion. He took the franchise belt all the way down to the WBO super titles. Devin Haney's title over time was that, he received it this way and that way. Like a lot of people on YouTube was saying, okay, this is how he received the belt. But at that point in time, the value of the belt hasn't reduced in its appraisal because pretty much people are just talking about how he received the belt, right? The belt was still part of the four-belt era. It's a legitimate super title at the time. It's legitimate as it gets. It's just all about the receipt. You know what I'm saying? So then time goes by. Mauricio Suleiman, I know he has his people out here, roaming the damn YouTube streets and everything, going in between the alleys. So he probably felt that it was more clarification that he needed to give for that particular case. You know what I'm saying? Because when Teofimo Lopez had all the belts, people was like, man, we want him to fight Devin Haney. He has the last belt. And they was basically implying that the last belt means something, which it does. So since the last belt that Devin Haney has that means something, why can't we make the fight? So Teofimo did this and that, went around skipping through this, coming back around, having all these YouTube lives on crossing paths with one another and people talking back and forth where they was going to fight, all this. Devin Haney was there. Teo was there. The debacle did not go anywhere. It stayed right here in the middle of the bullshit. That's where it never was able to go outside of that because a lot of people didn't believe that he was going to face Devin Haney. He was just up there. Teo was just up there basically saying, yeah, his dad would say, yeah, we'll do it. Knowing that wasn't going to happen. So being he went on to fight, scheduled with Kambosos and shit, Teofimo finally steps in there after 3 delays and he loses. Now, Kambosos become the second champion to win the franchise in the ring by defeating his opposition. But in totality of it, Kambosos becomes the what? He becomes the 5th franchise champion in boxing. You follow me? You had Canelo Alvarez, you had Vasyl Lomachenko, you had Teofimo Lopez, you had Juan Estrada, and then you had George Kambosos. This is where we at. The influence of all of it was Suleiman to devalue what the belt Devin Haney has around his waist. We already heard several hundreds of lives talking about this. But when it came down to the conversation with Rick Gleason and Bill Haney, he pretty much put it out there. Or he told another guest that was on the show to tell him to talk to the guy, in New York, who's a very important individual, obviously. And boom, nothing else was ever said about it. So this is what I'll be trying to tell people, like when you speak to certain scenes and you cannot disclose, you even dare even go there. You know what I'm saying? It's over. So it's things that happen behind the scenes that us in YouTube community on the outer layer, we're never privy to unless you have the contacts to do so. If you can reach out to those individuals and they're able to take your phone call and have a conversation, that's the shit that you learn a lot. But see, when you're behind the mic and you're vocalizing what you've already retained, right? It's difficult for your audience, unless they really true loyal fans, to respect what you're saying without revealing your source. Some of the breaking news that I see on here, I'm like, dude, that shit, oh my God, man. That shit, that's not really breaking news. I mean, it's just whatever it is, but still, breaking news, you got to have a source sooner or later. Using another channel isn't a source. But then you get to the point, if you want to express something someone told you in confidence and you can speak on it, yeah, you just have to be willing to accept the backlash on people not, you're not so-called catering to their needs. You feel me? Let me get some of these some of these chats in there. Appreciate everyone pulling up. Let me see. I know Mitch has something to say. Okay. So Dundada on deck. What it do? Hey man, I'm gonna start with this one right here. You get too much hate, bro. I can't stand the people it comes from either. Yeah, and look, certain people I know, Andrew, he be floating around there. He know and he hear. You know what I'm saying? Like many others, they know and they hear. Like if my channel is not big, why you keep talking about it? You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to check my catalog and you want to make up some shit like I ain't did anything, that's a lie. But the one thing about it, I'm not here to prove to you that it is true. But I am here to basically, refute the lies in defense of myself. I have every right to do that. You know what I'm saying? And, a lot of y'all feeling hemorrhoidal. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you are feeling hemorrhoidal with lemon juice. You know what I'm saying? With some hot sauce. Y'all agitated that I did an interview with Rick Gleason. I'm like, shit, there's plenty of other people on YouTube did an interview with Rick. But I'm speaking about me. I do what the hell I want to do. I communicate with who I want to communicate with. Y'all say, oh, we should only join forces when it's beneficial for a certain amount of people. Because now it's all about projecting arrows of racism. But yet before that, when you found out I was doing the interview and want to ask, oh, why are you doing the interview with him? Oh, he did this, this, and this. I don't know how many people. Like, man, it had to be multiple people. Okay, explain something to me. Give me a screenshot of something. If you're not producing screenshots, man, I don't know what to fucking tell you, dog. Mitch say, Manic say Andrade is vacating the WBO middleweight title. and moving up to super middleweight for final eliminator versus Zach Parker. I mean, that's what the talk has been. I haven't really been paying, to be honest, Mitch, I haven't really been paying Andrade any attention because I hope he get his destination. I hope he gets his destination. You know, from what I'm hearing, Mauro Charlo's going to get his destination. Look, the fans shouldn't be satisfied because what we wanted was Jamal Charlo and Demetrius Andrade. But Mauro Charlo is sitting up here trucking on, trying to catch up on freaking trying to molest Canelo Alvarez for a paycheck. Mitch say Woody as Pat heavy bling on Heyman boxing. No one really knows what that is, huh? I'm telling you, man, that's a diamond right there. You know what I'm saying? I hope somebody, hit the replay and tell me whose is it and what it means. That's a powerful find another one out there like that. Find that setup. It's a lot, it's a message in that shit. Get the smokers on deck, man. What's good, bro? Corporate sponsorship is how to leverage your YouTube channel. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, some people need to seek for that corporate sponsorship. It's tough. You have to build an audience that's there to support you at all times, but you yourself have to be punctual. You have to make sure you on time and strike your calendar so your audience can get used to seeing you come on. See, there's something I can't guarantee. I'm just an older cat, man. I just won't guarantee you that I'm on here every day. That's a lot of sitting around. Oh shit. Andrew said Rick made it sound like Shields might be blackballed behind the scenes by decision makers. See, that's what I talk about Andrew. Andrew's smart, man. Andrew be goddamn picking up on some shit, bro. He be picking up on some shit for real without even an explanation already. You got that, seriously, you got that from him? Amazing. Because that's what I got to. When he said, oh, they was angry. They was upset at her. I knew right then. Oh, she might be getting that Gary Russell treatment right now. Blackball behind the scenes by decision makers. That's one of my takeaway from the Rick interview. Yeah, I totally agree with that. And, it's funny you even mentioned that because I was like, damn, that does seem like there is repercussions behind this. Because if you're saying they didn't like what she did, to a grown person that understands that can be the shakers and movers. That can be the shakers and movers. They didn't like that. So with the pace, we're gonna see how many times she's able to fight. Let's see what pace she on in 22. Let's see if we're able to see her fight twice, at least twice this year. Because I'm telling you, man, you got to be held accountable for those who are associated. They always say that. You know what I'm saying? Those who are associated with you, they tend to get held accountable for your actions too. Especially if those that's around you are acting out in a way that is exposing certain situations that's unacceptable. Him punching a man in the back of the head was unacceptable. So basically, you brought attention on a fight camp before a good fight, before an important fight. You're gonna knock an older trainer out from behind, a boxing trainer. So I'm thinking he must have thought twice and say, you know what, dude might can throw hands if he get one on me. He get the drop. He might can throw a little hands though. So I'm gonna sucker punch him behind the head. Now that's some sucker shit right there. No idea whose picture that is, but it's kind of funny. Yeah, man, I'm just curious to know if anyone can figure out who it is. I mean, from my understanding, it's a 101. But that's what I do when I'm around, see stuff going on. You'd be amazed at who gear it is, though, and the story behind it. Man, you have no idea the story behind that picture. The person who it belongs to, what he went through. I just gave you a hint. What he went through. Oh my God, dog. That is a book. That's a book. J. Ocho, YouTube is a lot of people's whole life accomplishment. True words. And I see some of the people that's in the live chat that be over on different channels and everything. And if you look at how big boxing is, and then you look at YouTube, it's not that many channels out here that you would expect to be talking about the sport of boxing. And then you have to understand that everybody message is different, their flavor is different, you know what I'm saying, on the boxer that they speak on. So being that we have different flavors as we're communicating, and putting this media out, creating this content, the message and the fan base is going to be different. So then, since we have different messages being put out, different fan bases, it brings on a conflict of interest. That conflict of interest allows individuals to move from one live chat to the other. It allows people to create ghost accounts and still come on to someone else's live chat if no rules are set up. And then you get, arrows back and forth on stuff that's outside of content dealing with boxing, MMA, and combat sports. That's where YouTube kind of loses it. A lack of security features to kind of minimize the and the trolls. You know what I'm saying? But boxing as a sport, man, this YouTube shit is small. It's just a small droplet comparable to the amount of boxers that's in the sport and how long it's been around. It's just a small droplet. Like, you have familiar names of channels who create content out here, and people know them. They'll go to a boxing. Look, they would go to a boxing match in Vegas or MSG, and you might hear somebody mention a channel that they seen on YouTube. This is global sport, y'all. And we go to a boxing and they're mentioning a channel that they're familiar with on YouTube. One out of the favorite 10. How is that possible? So you're trying to tell me we have people that's willing to kind of peek into the sport of boxing, but not enough to the point where they want to create a YouTube channel and start, talking about it and building. That's just amazing. You can give 10 channels, familiar channels on YouTube, and go to a boxing event, and someone's going to know 5 of them. That's wild. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. How long has boxing been in existence? How big is the boxing fan base? And then we're only talking about 5 to 10 channels on YouTube. So if you take them 5 to 10 channels, they're all talking different. They're giving different type of energy, different perceptions, different expressions of their narratives and shit like that, right? And they develop this following. It depends on if their tone is like mine, or is elevated a little bit more, or is high pitched, aggressive, passive aggressive, whatever the case may be. YouTube is a stage for all sorts of shows, man. So you got, different people just showing up to the show all the time and listen. And look, I'm gonna tell you how goofy YouTube is when it comes down to some points of it. I'm gonna tell you how goofy it is. Y'all know who Skip Mark is, right? Skip Mark was vouching for Devin Haney forever and a day until some emails was transferred from one channel host to another. Supposedly with some defaming type language in there or whatever. It's, you know what I'm saying? Some insults to injury. So therefore, that person, Skip Mark, who was a true, this just hyped up Devin Haney voice, start talking about Teofimo Lopez. That is the type of carnival show that YouTube can turn into. And then I'm listening at one point in time with his audience who was saying, fuck Tio, fuck this, fuck that. It didn't matter at the time. They all of a sudden reverted to support Teofimo Lopez. But at first, Tio couldn't do shit because they wanted him to fight Devin. He was garbage. He was spit on the motherfucking ground. He couldn't do shit. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden it's T.O. Oh, how you doing, senior? Nice of you to be over there. Shit that's been going on elsewhere on YouTube forever and a day. But see, the traffic wasn't right over there. You weren't trying to drive in that direction. You was all about Team Haney. Then you switch up. Now I think he switched back off T.O. because he's out of sight, out of mind, and get back to partially supporting Devin Haney. This shit don't stop, won't stop over here. I'm just here trying to be a mediator and help them understand that don't take the shit so serious. And when you bring serious shit to somebody and try to have them account for something that's unaccountable, and you just want to say, yeah, that's just the way it is because I say so. Well, expect them to respond in the most lethal way possible, because that's what you do when you're defending yourself. People shouldn't be allowed to address you a certain way and lie on your name and all that other stuff that goes on in this global lifestyle. They shouldn't be able to do that and get away with it without you having a voice to speak up. You feel me? That's all I'm saying. Mitch said, Rick, sorry, Showtime wasn't fucking with Woke anymore, but they're not really in women's boxing, so it don't matter. Hey, Rick, Mitch, I don't know why y'all trying to, why my people, just because a person, look, we cuss each other out and say bitch ass this, bitch ass nigga this, right? But just because you think he is that important to a sport that he says one comment about Carissa, so what you're trying to say? Is it him that got her black ball? No, it was the actions. It wasn't him that punched Brashear in the back of the head. It was one of her relatives that punched the man in the back of the head in Flint, Michigan. So my only point is, Mitch, like you have to broaden you have to open up your lens. You know what I'm saying? I think you zoomed in a little bit close on the wrong stuff. You have to open that lens up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Reduce the shutter speed, because you just like flipping. You'll go from what he said here, from what he said there. You actually think he had any influence on Carissa's likability here? He didn't have no influence on that shit. Come on, Mitch, you know that. He didn't have no influence on Fury beating Deontay Wilder. He doesn't have any influence saying that Crawford would beat Errol Spence and Errol Spence, Spencerholics get mad and upset and trying to say, just because he's supporting Bob and he's working for, it's a racist deal because he's going for the fighter that's with the white man. Come on, dog. Man, this shit never stopped, dog. For real, it's hilarious, bro. Jay Ocho said, I use YouTube for entertainment. I see some crazy feminist shit on here from grown men. Real talk, man. Real talk. They living through these fighters. Look, a lot of people does live vicariously through these fighters. But they don't, they'll sit up here and say you clout chasing and dick riders. Whenever you hear these people, these grown adults, especially men, right? When they inject these demasculinity type terms at you, they project them at you in a negative way. Just goddamn move your head to the left or the right, slip it, brush them off or whatever. Don't let them get to you, because that is their go-to shit. They want to say something that's dealing with man on man. You know what I'm saying? I never in my life, never. I don't have to say pause to shit. I don't have to say pause to nothing. There's nothing on my thought process that make me second guess what I've been my whole life. I never told another man to do anything that would be sexually orientated for myself so I can get pleasure out of it. Nope. Not sucking my dick. Nope. I don't know why men say it all the time and they say it over and over again. Really? You're going to tell a person 700 times to do that shit? You really want it. I still remember laughing when me and Josh Greer was on. Shout out to Joshua Greer Jr., man. Chicago's own. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Ed Bad Boy Brown, his boy that was killed back in the day. Very promising boxer. I remember when we was on the line, man, when Joshua used to eat, he was eating eggs at the time, just chilling. You know, he told me, he said, if you got this much, he put his finger up to you got this much, it was barely in space in between his fingers. You got this much bitch in you, I'm gonna find it. he, he said, if you got this much bitch in you, I'm gonna know it. I'm gonna find it. And that's the same thing that how I treat the YouTube shit. It's not YouTube as a whole because there's some very productive channels out here, but this boxing community is very, very on the dark side of backstabbing. You know what I'm saying? Just talking behind people's back, slandering their name. This happens a lot in the boxing community. In the MMA community, real talk, they have a different type of audience. And then grappling is still, they're transitioning for notoriety. And it's going to, the grappling community is big for those who support it, but it's not big like MMA. But it's an amazing, beautiful sport. MMA is damn near not just one promotion. I tell people all the time, please don't say boxing and UFC. All right, UFC is a promotion. That's just like saying top rank UFC. Wait, what is top rank? Oh, it's a promotion. What is UFC? Oh, that's MMA. Listen, people, you have to be more specific. UFC is a promotion for mixed martial arts, just like Bellator and several others. PFL, they're just promotion. It's not boxing and the UFC. It's not boxing and the UFC. It's boxing and MMA. But Rick did hit a nerve with the aerosexual shit, but they've been saying bud sexual for years. Absolutely. You're right. You're right. They always say bud sexuals because the aerosexual's been out there. The aerosexual comment's been out there forever and a day. I don't, you don't hear me saying, like the bud sexuals or anything like that because once again, here go men on men shit. Find me some female type. I was raised down here in the A off strip clubs. I learned how to run bikes before I was even out of high school. I used to be gone taking my parents' cars in the AM. I learned how to run motorcycles before I was even out of high school. I was 6'1" at 12 years old. From 11 to 12 years old, I grew to like 6'1". So doing grown people shit, you look like an adult. You start being able to get around adults that's doing adult shit. That's real. I just never been the type of person. I always, here, it's more and more pungent now when you hear people always talking about man on man. This homosexual insult, the barrage of derogatory shit. And these men always say that shit, but yet they out here getting hoes. For real, you out here getting hoes, right? Well, you got all the women in the world, but you tell another man, for a week straight, we keeping a goddamn clicker. You in the thousands. What about just tell their girl to do that shit? Like, at least you allow him to come up with alternatives. Well, first of all, I'm single at the time. You know what I'm saying? Or first of all, my girl, she's not that type of girl. She's you know what I'm talking about. She's not a thought. All right. She's very wholesome girl. You know what I'm saying? Grew up around her parents, grew up in the church. You know what I'm saying? She had a 4.0 GPA. She's everything you would look for. Telling her to go do that, no way. Especially a black guy, no. I'm just I'm just saying, dog. Man, let's put a ban on that, man. It's too much. If you gotta say pause to shit, that means it's on your mind that you feel you being feminine. I don't say pause to a motherfucking thing. OG dating older women in life. She said when you go out with your girl, you're never supposed to look better than your girl. You're supposed to let your girl compliment you because that's what people are gonna be looking at. You're never supposed to be prettier than your girl. You're never supposed to act feminine than your girl. I found it funny how Glazer had emasculating names for Wilder and Spence fans, but none for Canelo Valdez or Fury fans. I don't like that shit. Rico from Belly Voice. Okay, I get you. I get you with the 3-point stance. I get you. I get you with that, dog. For real. I totally understand how you are basically talking about Wilder and Spence. All right, because those are the two names that's often spoke on here on YouTube. I get it, bitch. I understand that. But that's not the way I look at boxing, though. Like, you have so many other fighters out here that people don't talk about on a regularity. So you're just gonna pick Wilder just because he was actively fighting the other top heavyweight in the sport. So their name was buzzing. But we have plenty of other heavyweights in the division. Why not get fat? Why not get mad? Let's just put it this way. This is my point. You've heard Dillian White call Wilder every name in the book. But just because he said the Wilder Rats or something, that don't do shit for me. My whole point, I wanted to talk about the cheating that Tyson Fury. That's why I say, I agree that was a long count. I agree there was some type of cheating going on, especially in the rematch. I even said in my live that, Team Wilder will have to go in there with the perfect game plan to keep his title. And then it absolutely turned into a masquerade of deception, man. Smoke and mirrors. A lot of moving parts, man. The plot was in full effect. That's one of the most controversial heavyweight fights. Why people just gonna try to dead it right now just for a little bit. They're gonna put some, they're gonna put band-aids and bandages around it enough so it can heal up, but it's always gonna be scar tissue. That shit gonna be peeled off, later on in boxing as they start talking about the heavyweights and the heavyweights. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. It may be a length of time that the US don't have a heavyweight champion. We don't have that many heavyweight champions in the shoot. We don't have that many heavyweight champions as top names. Like, we have Trevor Bryan that's going in now Don King Promotions, but he has a secondary title, but he has a title, right? Shout out to Trevor Bryan. Hope you go in there and get that win. And also you have the upcoming ones, like I said, Jerry Anderson. You have Big Shot Shaw that, there's been on some podcasts. They say some good things about him. He is US, you know what I'm saying? And then you have Mack Truck down here in Atlanta. He has a fight he's taking on short notice for a WBA. A WBA, it's a secondary title too. He's taking this fight on short notice, which I don't know if it's going to be a tough fight or not, because I'm not sure of, to make an assessment or an assumption off the lack of footage I was able to retrieve. I haven't really been able to retrieve footage on his opponent, but it's for a pretty decent fight for the WBA. And it's going to be interesting, man. I don't think Mack Truck has been out the second round, but this is a 10-rounder. So he's to dig deep, man, or go in there and stop his opponent early. If he can go in there and stop his opponent early, man, he would have ran the table on this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Came on short notice, got the win, and picked up a nice, decent check. That's what the fuck I'm talking about right there. All fighters I mentioned pop dirty, and they fans be riding for them. No derogatory names from Rollback Rick, though. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I mentioned that fighters pop dirty. For a long time, it was just Canelo that everybody talked about from the computer role. But you have YouTube channels on here defending them and saying it wasn't this, it wasn't a story, it was a cutting edge, it's a diuretic, it's this, it's it still was on the banned substance list. It was in violation of. So no matter what you say, what type of drug it wasn't, it still has some type of influence to the body to cut corners, to shave time, to expedite. That's what it was for. That's why it was on the ban list. It was able to chemically influence how your body operates for whatever that measure was. So, he was cheating. And then, Oscar Valdez just happened. And of course, we seen him be forgiven. And a lot of me saying this, right? People thought it was bullshit for him to get that next fight. They wasn't really letting Oscar Valdez live it down. So a lot of shit, I think about when they say, we got to clean this up a little bit. We really have to give Oscar Valdez that Shakur Stevenson fight. I know they trying to say, well, Oscar's been calling. He said, okay, I'll take the fight. Come on, man. All of a sudden, the top is spinning, and when it stopped, Shakur Stevenson name was up there with Oscar Valdez to say, oh, this who we gonna push now. We're gonna give him Shakur Stevenson. It just seems like it's all about cleaning up the act. You know what I'm saying? Clean up, what happened with Oscar Valdez getting a free pass, and then how bad it looked on Mauricio Suleiman. It looked bad, man. It looked bad with him increasing the levels and just basically forgiving. You know what I'm saying? Something like he just forgave him on the spot. It wasn't really no serious reprimand to it or nothing. It was all bad, shawty. And that's why I say with the Devin Haney situation, I said it all along why I call Teofimo Lopez and George Kambosos undisputed, because Mauricio Suleiman created the belt. He's pushing for the belt to sustain itself on the top of the hierarchy, and he's going to continue to do that shit. And long as you're talking about the president who's pushing a certain belt to be higher and make the other belts a subordinate, and he has all the damn leverage to do so, all the resources, because he's in charge of it. How do you think you're going to stop it? Who's going to stop him? The sport isn't regulated. Who's going to stop him? For real, who's going to stop him, man? Let me know. Who's going to stop the man? Who's going to scoop up that middleweight WBO strap after Andre vacated? Probably McGill. So you smart. All I'm saying is 160-pound division right now of recognizable divisions, that people love talking about. It is absolutely a corpse. That's the coroner office is so dead. It's dead as shit over there. That's the 160-pound middleweight division. It's almost walking into a haunted house, and you can pretty much the shit is popping up on the side. They trying to scare you. He's like, man, please get out of here with that shit. They popping up with some old ass scary shit that nobody's like, man, get out of here. I can't believe you tried that. That shit you could have pulled on me when I was 6 or 7 years old, but doing it now, no. That's the middleweight division right now. That shit is dead. And y'all dislike the man, man. I just don't know why. Like y'all act like y'all are disliking the man without even having a personal experience. I'm not advocating for him. I don't even know him like that. But I'm just saying, like, what you've heard, right? So he say something about two black fighters. It's Armageddon. That's what you saying. No, a lot of y'all don't even know or freaking hear Clarissa talk about anything out here on the YouTube streets. I mean, you don't hear too much. out here wrestling, doing what he's doing, I'm pretty sure he'll be back to the sport though. Because as I assume, someone that's representing the tribe and believe wholeheartedly to go to another country and just go through the entire process, what I'm saying, understanding where his roots are at. He ain't gonna leave with no 2 losses on his record to Fury. He's not gonna do it. Let's not sit up here and forget how many lives was talking about, him going back to Africa and the Igbo tribe and stuff like that. Man, that's pride. That's pride, man. You're not gonna allow yourself for Fury to have the last say so on your career. That he defeated you back to back, and you're not gonna come back and pick up a couple of wins just to green it up a little bit. They say the grass is green on the other side sometime. Put some green over that red and shit. People just look at it, oh, okay. Yeah, I remember that right there. That was a trilogy. That was a tough trilogy. All right, got it. They did have the old head leaking. The punch was uncalled for. Absolutely, they did. Just because he used the words disgusting and stuff like that. And what is worse, bitch ass nigga or disgusting? Because I hear that shit every day on YouTube. So I guess that's commonplace, right? Right? I guess that's commonplace. I guess when it comes to English, that is considered grandiloquent. That language right there is grandiloquent. Like I said yesterday, it's not Guo's job to rat on her brother. If they catch him, they catch him. No one was talking about ratting, but you're talking about a business, a profession that you're in. Though that profession is a contact sport for sure, you have people that you work for. So if you want to go over here, first of all, you're not looking at who the coach, who his fighter is already. They always talking about they don't have the complexion for the protection. Well, did you think Carissa Shields had the complexion for the protection? If someone's going to go up here and knock out Bashir, who fighter was what? Hispanic, white, what? And he's known in the sport, and he has history with Emmanuel Stewart. Like, he's known in the sport. And somebody associated with your family gonna sucker punch him, and you think you're gonna get away with that because you're a 3 division champion? Seriously, we're not sitting up here. We're not doing that. We're not sitting up here acting naive and incompetent like that. You know damn well that shit is not gonna work. If you want to sit up here and act like you didn't know who it was and you don't care about the welfare of that boxing trainer, they say we'll show you. You might not think boxing has a bit of unity, a lot of unity to it, but it is. You just have to be part of a circle. They have unity periodically. They do. They have what is considered, some type of cohesiveness. But you'll never know when it's going to come together. See, like the ones at the top, the insiders, they know how to link stuff up. They have their circles. But see, in this particular incident, you've seen how these circles will react to something that they think is just outright bad. Like, that's fucked up. You don't want to have honesty and tell us who did it. You say you didn't know him. Okay, so she might get blackballed for 2 years. The good thing about her Shields is that she's young. She's crazy young, man. I think she's like 26, right? 26, 27. I never said to Glacier having any influence because I don't think he has much. Maybe a bit more, a bit with Bob because they homies. What's wrong? Look, okay, let's talk about homieism. All right, let's talk about homieism. I know that's not a word, but I'm gonna make it one today. Let's talk about homieism. Look, it's okay for us to support whatever fighter we want to support. Let's just say Deontay Wilder, right? And let's just say Deontay Wilder is speaking to the LDBC in the interview. The LDBC has exclusive, interview that Deontay Wilder. So basically, it's wrong for that to happen. Is wrong for him to choose who he want to speak to. Who he want to be close with. When it comes to Rick Lace, I can't speak for him, but if he want to be cool with Bob, and he's been in somewhat attached to the sport for 30 plus years, and you're trying to tell me who I can be cool with and who I can't? When look, he was cool with Don King, the nemesis of Bob Arum. I asked him in the interview, you're able to have some type of attendance with Don King back in the day from 2000 to 2000, what, 16, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, a 13. Have interaction with Don King for that long, and then now at this juncture, you're Bob Arum. So what if they're good friends? So freaking what? If in one breath you're gonna say he ain't shit to the sport, then you can't really be mad at who he's attached to in the sport, because you just said he wasn't shit. But if he's attached to someone outside of just sending emails and phone texts, they actually have communication. They actually have, uh, somewhat of a friendship, a bond. They talk to each other on the phone. It's different. You can't sit up here and be mad at that. It's suspect behavior. Ain't shit suspect about what? Like, be more clear, JL. Just suspect about him not saying nothing about Fury. I mean, Fury, Canelo, and Oscar. 3 fighters. There's not even 3% of boxing. You're mad because he won't name drop? What happens on YouTube when names are dropped? Does it solve anything when names are dropped? No, they say you cloud chasing. Oh, let me drop this name so I can get views. Oh, exposed. WCS exposed. Like, what does name dropping do? So you want him to placate the situation. You want him to placate the situation and appease you and say, guess what? Canelo. Okay. What about everybody else a drug? What about Antonio Margarita, who was up there trying to put the plaster of Paris on there? What about him? There's been many people that get caught cheating. What about Jimenez, who fought Franchon Cruz Dezern, who was transitioned to be a man? She was super duper ooper oogly dirty. Don't nobody mention that. And that was on a black woman. Don't nobody mention that shit, bro. And that was a black woman that was in the sport, up here fighting a clean fight against a woman who was super dirty. And then the WBC still contemplated and pumped the brakes a little bit, and goddamn Granny shifted the clutch and giving the WBC title back to Franchon. The WBA had already did it. But don't listen to me though. It's all good. I don't fuck with Dylan White either, but he's a fighter. He should be popping this shit to another fighter. Glacier keying in on those two fan bases only is questionable to me. That should make you think. This is the way I look at it, Mitch. I gave you the entire umbrella of how large boxing is, right? It's an annual sport. I gave you the total, the biggest umbrella you can possibly have to this sport. The biggest one. And just to think about YouTube, you feel some type of way that he says something that deals with 2 fan bases. 2 fan bases out of thousands of fighters. 2 freaking fan bases out of the thousands of fighters. You cannot ever explain logic to me. How is that the case at this point in time? YouTube has all these channels, boxing an annual sport, thousands of fighters. And you're mad because he said something about 2 different fan bases. So you're trying to basically mollify the point down to a speck of racial tendencies. A speck of racial tendencies. Oh, I need that speck. Give me that speck. I need that one speck. No, man, I don't think like that. That one speck, I need more than a speck. Like, you got thousands of fighters in boxing, and YouTube only has 15 popular channels that people know of. 15, 20. I'm talking about boxing. Right? And then you have those who have larger fan bases. Okay. But what I'm saying to you is, two fan bases, two different names. You mad at what he said about Errol Spence and Deontay Wilder? Their names together isn't 2% of boxing. They're not even 1% of boxing, y'all. We have to move on. For real. Valdez don't have many fans though. No, he's not the Mexican that they pretty much is magnetized to yet. Glacier also said in Fred's show that Valdez does not want the fight. Speaking about the Shakur fight, he was protecting Bob from the blame. Now we hear they're fighting in April. Glacier also said that Valdez does not want the fight. I heard him say he did want the fight, and they was talking for a month now. You know what I'm saying? They was already in a month last year. This fight. That's what I heard. I don't think, someone like Valdez just make a decision that influences Bob to say, oh, okay, let me get him to fight. That's the way it should be, because the promotion supposed to work for the fighter. But in this particular era, and like it's been so many times even before now, it's the opposite. The fighter is definitely working, for the promotion, because the promotion does have a lot of say so in how you're going to progress in the sport. You know what I'm saying? You can either have smooth forward progress on a nice tread of tire. You know what I'm saying? Or you can goddamn walk barefooted. Not because you're moving, but you're standing in one spot. Boxing can do that to you. They can slow your ass down. Her brother catching that felony. Man, everybody know, man. If that was your family, you would have said it was disgusting too. You would have said it was distasteful too. I would have. If somebody blindsided my pops or anybody that's related to me, blindsided like that, older cat. Even though he was chopping, he was chopping off at the mouth. He was. But still, it was in the court of law, was it considered something that placed your life in danger? Did you feel that your life was threatened just because he was talking and being over boisterous, being belligerent? Did you fear for your life? You couldn't fear for your life. You had all them fighters around. You had Carissa there. You had both teams there. So you couldn't have did that. But this didn't happen on stage. This happened off stage. But as black people, are we gonna sit up here and just condone and sugarcoat over the fact of what happened and then say no snitching allowed, no snitching? You know how many people on YouTube snitch? You know how many people in life snitch? But you know how much snitching and gossip goes on in these YouTube shit? A lot. It's a lot of snitching. People snitch today because they feel no type of damn pincushion effect to it. They're just goddamn snitch on you because they say, I don't know them anyway. I have no connection to them. I'm not worried about that shit. This is the biggest social media cesspool that you can ever imagine when it comes to people telling on one another and trying to create, sometimes truth, a lot of time lies. That's just the way it is. No excuse for gross brother to do the bullshit. Can't sucker punch old dudes. Unacceptable, period. That's all I'm saying, man. I felt it was all the way wrong. Major Key Boxing on deck. How you feel, bro? What up? Shout out to Harris that's on deck. I guess you're putting a question out there for the live chat because I know I'm the host, so I guess he's asking the host. It's an open ended question to the host and the live chat because it's not for me. He said, "Are you gonna let a man disrespect your mother or sisters like that?" Well, if a trainer from another team is in the same presence, I have to ask myself, how did the conversation start? You know what I'm saying? How did the conversation start? And then um the female that he with, what was the words that was said? Was he telling her, you know, that you're a woman and telling her what he'll do to her and all that, disrespecting her as a female? I don't know what the whole entire conversation was with. I know they was jarring back and forth. They was jarring back and forth. There was no punches exchanged or nothing. He was just trash talking, trash talking, trash talking. I seen the Charlos do it all the time. When Jerry Hurd was champion, they used to disrespect the shit out of him. I seen several fighters disrespect the shit out of people's family. Disrespect the shit out of people's family. I mean, I'm out in the boxing streets. I can give you a plethora of examples on people that's had situations with their family. So I don't know why people keep on talking about your mother, your sister. You know what I'm saying? First of all, my mother is not gonna be on stage. If she's on stage and she's a part of the training camp, that means she's been qualified. She's been in the business long enough, experienced enough to be in that position up there on stage where she's subjected. And most of the time, if you have people that's on stage with you, most of the time they're participating in some type of training with the team. You know what I'm saying? I'm just assuming they're not just taking her clothes. Like they got to have some type of other influence with the team. Carissa just didn't bring them up there because it's Flint, Michigan, and say, hey sis, you can walk on stage with me. And she ain't did shit else in her boxing career. She don't know shit about boxing, nothing. Y'all get mad because the man was talking to the female that was helping out Carissa, her sister. I'm pretty sure if it was a dude there, he would have been talking shit to her too. But I don't know who started it, and I don't know what the topic was. So it has absolutely nothing to do with, a mother and a sister, because that's not the way it played out. This was a female fight, period. Every female fighter that steps on stage doesn't have female trainers. A lot of female fighters have male trainers. Y'all killing me with this mother shit. Some of y'all never got off the nipple until you was 12. I remember one time my old ass dad got into it with another man over a parking spot. I didn't touch the old man, but my reaction was out of line. This was at a dentist's office. I look crazy. Man. You know how many people I seen my pops go in on down here in the South? Shit that I was experiencing. I was like, shoot, man. And he was educating me on Georgia. What's this? What's that? I mean, I learned. I seen him get out back then. Shit, they used to get out down here, boy. All that roads rage, they used to get out. They have a conversation and yell, get back in their truck and go. Now shooting you up, man. Spinning the block. As black people, there was a Latin man disrespecting a black woman. So what? Once again, I need to know how the conversation started, what was this about, without just jumping on everyone's thought process without using my own. I'm still more than capable of thinking by myself. I wasn't in the building. You wasn't in the building. So just to say, a Latino man, who gives a damn what he is? You know, y'all just can't keep on just picking up the salt shaker and sprinkling racism on every little bitty shit. You're gonna have high blood pressure doing that. Take some time and goddamn try to explore what the fuck is going on. Just give yourself time. How did the conversation start? Who initiated? And what the words were saying. If you can't provide the entire transcript from the first word to the last word before he was punched, then I don't know what to tell you. You can't just sit up here and say, "Oh, well, he was saying this and that." He got punched in the back of the head, man. Knocked out his teeth. And he was knocked out cold, man. He died. Y'all just didn't hear about that gym security guard. I always told people, and they thought I was tripping. I said, there's no way that a gym can have a security guard that's out of shape. I told him that in California, right? This guy was in a gym, and I guess, it was one of those gyms where you have the basketball court attached to the gym. So you can go in there and hoop. So just because you're a big guy and you overweight, you deconditioned, you're in a gym. You got dudes who are in shape, playing basketball, lifting weights, doing cardio. So he kind of hurried them out, went out the door. Now he's trying to make sure they get out of the damn gym facility, and some words was exchanged back and forth, and they stumped him out. Oh boy didn't have a chance. He was out of shape. What was he going to do against guys who just finished running the court? They're in shape. He isn't. So they knocked him down. He landed fast. They stumped him out. He died. Now these dudes are going to go to court. Now they're going to go on trial for murder. Black on black. Ain't nobody talking about that. Now, you can look at that too and say, oh, well, I think it's fucked up. Well, he on the ground, but he must have did something wrong. No, you don't know how the conversation started. Like, why was the two parties going back and forth? 3 guys against 1 security guard. What was said? And then what caused it to escalate to the point where a punch was thrown, punches, and he was knocked out, and they stumped him. They stumped him in the head. He died. Now they're going to court for they're going to trial for manslaughter probably. Silence King on deck. Salute, man. So what up, World Combat Sports? Good interview with Rick. Appreciate you. Appreciate the ones who who saying good interview with Rick, man. I enjoyed it. Real talk, I enjoyed it. I really can give a damn what anything else is being said about this channel, because I know the ones who fucking with me in the live chat to show up and show support. That's all that matters to me. And I said once again, I'm grown. My decisions are of him. Him is I. I is he, and he is him. And him is me. You know what I'm saying? With the umbrella that large, you key in on 2 guys specifically. Rick knows what he's doing. He understands this polarizing situation, especially in YouTube. Look, if you choose to say that out of the 2 guys, you cannot sit up here and tie that analogy together, because he's going off the names that are being used on YouTube. I'm going off the volume of fighters in boxing, and why are these fighters 2 of the popular names in a sport with thousands of fighters? This is a global annual sport. That's what I'm trying to say. So you're not up that he used those 2 names and try to compare it to the volume of fighters that I was mentioning. He's giving you, and those are 2 popular fighters in the sport. I'm telling you, there's a surplus of other fighters that compete in boxing on a regular basis. Why is YouTube sitting up here feeling some type of way about two different fan bases. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's not for me to make sense. His boxing, bro, wasn't that serious. Old man was doing a little too much, but he definitely didn't deserve to get snuffed. Um, from the blind side, I agree. On the nipple at 12 is absurd. Hey man, some of these cats was goddamn on that nipple though, for real. Because they always bringing up analogies about females and shit. You know, I mean, I be trying not to go there, but some of these cats was raised without a man in the home, for real. They trying so hard, you know, to get out that damn that oppressive jacket that they wore from having a woman beat their ass all the time and not having a dad in there to talk to. Serious, that's real talk. Some of these cats didn't have fathers in the home, but their mom was the one that was beating their ass. They so used to getting beat down by a woman all their life to the point where they end up, you know, having the opportunity to date one or be with one. Shit, they feel like they got to be the beta for shit to work. Because when they was with their mama, they was the beta. She assured them as that. Don't get mad. I be who I be on deck. What's good with it, bro? Appreciate you pulling up. That's how it is. That's just my opinion. People have to understand it's not based off fact, man. Everybody's expression is different. Opinions differ all the damn time. And that's how it's always going to be. But in boxing, if we have two fighters out of thousands that's being spoke about on YouTube, how does that view us as far as the depth of boxing for which we're able to talk about? Just like I could be speaking on mixed martial arts a lot more than I do. I should. But in boxing, these individuals know that certain names pull in numbers. Errol Spence pulls in numbers. Terrence Crawford pulls in numbers. Deontay Wilder, when he was over here, you know, when he was active as a champion and a fighter, he was pulling in numbers. You know what I'm saying? Canelo will pull in numbers. When Floyd was on deck and fighting, whenever he got something popping off, he's pulling in numbers. Now you have the Paul brothers, they're pulling in numbers wherever that may be. You know what I'm saying? Wherever pothole that is. But I'm just saying, out of all these fighters, you have 17 divisions. Out of all these divisions and all the fighters, let's just give or take the top 15 of the divisions. Of all these fighters, we're not even talking about the unranked now. All these fighters, and we're having people separate themselves from communicating with somebody else because they're part of a clique and they're mad because you don't support this particular fighter. And all of us do over here. Over here, we all are this particular fan base and you're on that fan base. So in reality, if you with that fan base, I can't really fuck with you like that. That's crazy. That's insane, ain't it? That's insane that it's just like that. No two men should agree on everything. If they do, one of them is a bitch. Once again, like, okay, if you say that's the case, that's you. But I'm saying, in general, it happens a lot over here. Like you have, you know, a whole fan base that think a lot. You can't tell them that Spence do anything wrong. You know what I'm saying? But yet, what they're advocating for over here and enabling, they're going against when it comes to Bud Crawford's fan base. Everything they're pretending like they're not a part of, they're basically projecting that on Bud Crawford's fan base. That's what I see. They say, "Oh, they're Bud sexuals." This and that. That's because they call y'all sexuals. You say it's dick riding, but yet y'all riding hard for Spence. Which one is it going to be? Then they bring in the DICK part of it. I just feel deep down as a man, I feel that's just a weak separation. That's not even a sword. I just look at it as somebody that's having a sexual fetish or something. You know what I'm saying? They bringing out their inner self when they always using dick to separate a narrative. You're smarter than that. You should be able to discuss and have a disagreement and then get it over with without, going to anything dealing with that. I mean, we got to stop that. Like, there's beautiful women that still exist in the world while there are men on all about making derogatory comments that deal with sexual displeasure. You know what I'm saying? Taking down a man through force. On here, it's basically providing you with a visual insult. I'm telling you what to do. Suck my dick. Oh, wow. Really? So you want to keep the camera rolling and have that person come up to you and let it happen on camera? I mean, come on, man. We need to stop that shit, bro. As men, we need to stop that. But I guess my partner's not gonna show up, man, to defend his, so we can pop it out. But um I should be getting that money on that. And I'll definitely step in. Um I should be, I'm not sure what time I'm coming on tomorrow, but yeah, I have some other, topics to talk about. I just wanted to get on here and kind of clear up that situation because I have a lot of media shit on hard drives that I don't post all over. I have them, and that's just what I produced earlier. So I got my text I'm looking for, and that shit going. I appreciate you, goddamn, you know, keeping your word, big dog. Now, hopefully, you don't come in here and be a fool and try to lie and say you the one. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to chill with just going off on these Facebook shit and YouTube about shit you don't know, man. Wasn't the first time I knew Bowser. But anyway, man, I appreciate y'all for popping up for real, supporting the channel as always. Continue to hit the like button if you haven't already. And we'll do it again. Turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports.